Welcome to basketball day. If you're new here, my name is Melody Munch and I have taught second grade for the past 8 years, but this year I'm a full-time teacher resource creator. This basketball day is something I've been wanting to create for so long because it's perfect to tie in with March Madness. It's a really fun room transformation that will take place throughout the entire day with different learning activities that are all basketball themed, just to boost student engagement. So the students are still learning, we're just doing it in basketball themed ways. This is my friend Mrs. Moon's classroom. She teaches third grade at the school I previously taught at, and I told her I was making this day, and she said her and her class were interested in using it, and now the third grade as a whole grade level is going to be using parts of it tomorrow. So I am here to help her set up her room today, and we're going to take you along to show you how everything's going to work. Whenever I do a themed day in my classroom, I've learned to put all the materials inside a clear tote. This makes it really easy whenever I need to use it in a future year to just pull down that tote and bring it to the classroom. We're keeping the decor really simple for this day with some basketball themed tablecloths over the tables, and I'm going to use those same tablecloths to cover up some of the regular content on the board just so that we have a focal point. I'm also hanging up some basketball banners. I did this on the football day I do as well. Pro tip is to use a little binder clip and clip that to your ceiling grid if you have one. Next, I worked on inflating these foil basketball balloons. This was more tedious than expected and a bit exhausting, so I only did 4 of them. Then I strung together this pennant banner, and it was so cute, but it ended up falling to the ground, and I didn't even notice till the day was over, but that's okay. The foil balloons were hard to stick onto the wall. I found duct tape was the best solution for that. I also hung some basketball lanterns, and then I assembled these snack cups that we will use for the next day. Any snack would work in these, like popcorn or pretzels. We went with little Cheeto Puff balls that look like orange basketballs. We also had cuties that we drew basketball lines on. Then I prepped our STEM challenge and the room was ready for the next day. I also made a basketball playlist that we used throughout the entire day, and I'll link it in the description. Welcome to basketball day. It's going to be so much fun. We've got everything set up for the students. I had a few of these little table decorations that arrived last night. Unfortunately, some things got delayed, but that's okay because really all of the theme decorations are just the extras. It's the activities that is really all that you need to have a fun basketball themed day. All the teachers that are doing this are dressed in the referee jerseys, and then I'm in my basketball shirt, so together we look amazing, and it's going to be a really fun day. Can't wait to take you along. This is my friend Jaden, whose class I'm helping out with today. She is such a great third grade teacher, and she has some amazing students. They were so excited to see the setup when they came in, and then they got to work on their morning work. They got to choose between doing a coloring page, word search, or designing their own basketball jersey. Some of them got to do multiple of these things, and anything they didn't finish they could do as an extra time option throughout the rest of the day. Then it was time to move into math. They're practicing multiplication right now, so we did some scoreboard math on the board, and then they did their scoreboard scoot in the hallway. They solved each problem and wrote their answer on the recording sheet, and then they went over this as a class as I prepped their snack.
Number 12 is 32.
Yes.
Number 13 is 30.
Yes.
Number 14 is 21.
Yes.
Number 17 is 32.
Yes.
After snack, the students went to their specials, and when they came back, we did our science STEM challenge, which was called Make a Hoop. Students were in groups, and they all had the same few materials. They had to make a plan together as a group of how they would design their hoop, and then they had a set time limit to use the materials to make a functional hoop and then to practice trying to make a basket. It proved to be a little trickier than a lot of them realized, but I believe every group was successful, or at least successful with a little assistance, which was great, and they had a great time trying to bounce their ball through the hoop. Next, we moved into writing. During this time, students had to answer an opinion question and write an opinion writing piece. Their question was, is basketball the best sport? They had previously learned how to write an opinion piece, and they did such a good job outlining their reasons and giving evidence. You could also choose another question if your students have not learned this style. Then it was time for the referees and the students to have their lunch. And when they came back, we did some grammar sorting. You could have students cut out the basketball words and put them in the correct hoop, but since this was in a packet, we just had students write the correct words in the correct hoop. Then we did a couple basketball themed brain breaks. There are really a lot of fun ones out there. This was my favorite, the Make It or Miss It. It showed clips from real basketball games, but it would pause when the player took a shot, and students had to decide if they were going to make it or miss it by doing the corresponding exercise, and then it would reveal the answer. After that, it was time to work on social studies, where we watched a Mystery Doug. These videos are so thoughtful. This one was on how basketball was invented. One of the students in the room actually knew the correct answer, which was very impressive. As the video played, students kept track of their answers on their fill-in-the-blank recording sheet, and we would pause often to discuss those answers as a class. Then it was time for our last basketball-themed learning activity of the day, which was reading. Students listened to 2 different books. One was the first book of basketball that we listened to on YouTube, and the other was Salt in His Shoes, which I read aloud. As the students listened, they filled out a book face-off packet where they drew the cover and they wrote their thoughts about the book. And then at the end, they got to vote on their favorite, and we wrote on the scoreboard which book was the winner. To end the day, we had to show students a fun dance that we did during their specials time, which I'll go ahead and insert for your viewing pleasure.
Oh my God! We must see the ball. Is she really the ball? She's the ball.
I hope you enjoyed coming along with us for this basketball themed day. Special thanks to Jaden and her 3rd grade class for letting me do this with them. We truly had so much fun. Everything we used is linked in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.